Want to study in Germany? Then Excella is the best option. Admissions with scholarships available. Call 9881 96666. Hi viewers, welcome to iDream and welcome to A to Z with Awesome Aparna. We have today Anshul Sinha. I'm not going to say anything. I'll just say he's a microfilm director to feature film director, and everything about him has to be said by him only because it's bombardment of creativity. So let's not waste any more time. Let's talk to him. Hi Anshul.
Hi.
Welcome to our show.
Thank you so much. I'm very much excited.
Me too. I'm actually more excited after watching your films and all. So how are you doing these days?
I'm doing good. Currently, I'm running my startup called Output Media.
Yeah.
So things are going amazing with me.
So अंशुल, आप एक चीज़ बताइए कि आप ग्लोबली बहुत रिकग्नाइज्ड है, लेकिन अभी भी ना अभी आप रोड पे जाएंगे या ऐसा है तो कोई भी आपको पहचान नहीं पाता है ना, ऐसा क्या आपने फेम बनाया?
I'm majorly concerned about making and creating the films. That is what is my core forte of creating films. So majorly, most of the time I'm locked up in doing project. So I'm locked up with lot of project after project. So I didn't give a thought that side.
अच्छा, तो entertainment is what we see movies for, and most of the films, 90 to 95% of the films are into entertainment. तो आपने ऐसे स्टार्ट किया है कि एक ही मिनट में हमारा थॉट प्रोवोकिंग हो जाता है, हमें लगता है कि एलॉबरेटेडली एक स्टोरी बनाते हैं, लेकिन उसको भी माइक्रो भी कर सकते हैं. ये थॉट आपको कब आया, कैसे आया, हु इज द इंस्पिरेशन?
So I started my career with film festival, or initially I was not having any camera with me.
क्या मैं I'm sorry to interrupt, क्या मैं ये पूछ सकती हूँ कि आपको पहले फिल्म्स में ही इंटरेस्ट कब से आया है?
So I did my mass communication, and parallelly I was doing MBA also. So during my when I was doing mass communication, at that time I got exposure of this film festivals. So my sir was there, Mr. Naresh Kumar. He took me to one of the film festival, and there I went there and I saw that there's something called short films also. We can communicate our message in 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 1 minute also. It's not compulsory that you have to go and do full-time feature film. That can be communicated in short and crisper way also. तो वो exposure मिलने के बाद then I got interested. Okay, this is I wanted to do. Basically, I wanted to express myself. So there are n numbers of thoughts which I am getting. So I wanted to play with it. I wanted to experiment it, and then I wanted to channelize it into a right way. So when I got that exposure, then I started my filmmaking journey.
Okay. So may I ask, what is the first idea that you have got?
So while I was doing this post graduation, at that time I was having a lot of energy, and then I wanted to do something for the country, and then that dream was having with me since my childhood, that I wanted to do something. Didn't want it to end up my life just living a basic life. That doesn't give me a kick. So I got a crazy idea that I'll remove poverty from whole India. When I
No,
was
we all
21.
think that way. Yeah.
So I did a documentary called Remove Poverty from India. I did some social activity in my college, and then on those social activity I started doing documentary films. So in that way my filmmaking journey got started. So basically the films which I was making, I wanted to create an impact with the projects which I was creating. For example, there's one school in Malakpet which was not having electricity from 50 to 60 years. Since the independence has came. So I did a documentary film and then started showing it to everyone. So SBI saw that film, and then they donated electricity to that whole school. So
Wonderful.
that is how this impact oriented journey got started.
So how do you do this kind of research? Because see, passion is one thing. You want to make films, yes, you can make films with ideas. But being into the problem and researching about it and analyzing the facts and solutions, all of it. So how do you get that?
I've done a lot of projects. I'll give you one example of a film called Gateway to Heaven. So I got to know about a person who has completed last rites of around 12,000 orphan dead bodies, and he was also dealing with organ mafia in Hyderabad city. So before that, I was doing one documentary film on biomedical wastage in Hyderabad. So I was very much concerned that where this biomedical wastage is going, how the treatment is happening of this biomedical wastage. So I did a 10 minutes documentary film on that. So when I was doing that documentary, at that time I came to know about this person. So initially the research work begins with different topic and it takes you to another direction. It's research work is very deep. It's when we go deep into it, we get a lot of topics. So like that I got to know about Mr. Rajeshwar Rao, who was doing this social work of doing last rites of unknown and unclaimed dead bodies.
Yeah.
So I went there, and then he took me to all the places that how in an unorganized way city is treating all these unknown and unclaimed dead bodies.
Wonderful. So coming to this, you have started your career, as you said, with short films. Like not even short, can I say microfilms?
Yeah, micro.
So was there a pattern, like you said, you've been into different international film festivals and all. So is already a microfilm is a pattern which people use, or you found it comfortable because of the financial aspects and all?
Yeah, obviously the financial aspect.
Okay.
Because initially when I started, I wanted to keep on these projects regularly, and then we need certain amount to make these short films. And then I was not having. I am from a middle class family. So in the initial stage of career, the only direction which I was having to make a film, submit it to film festival and win an award. And in that award we will get money. And with that money we'll make more projects.
Yeah.
That
How much
was
you used to get?
In a film festival you can easily make up to 30 to 40 or somewhere up to 1 lakh, 2 lakhs also.
If there are international winnings.
Also, local also, national also. So different film festivals will have different amounts.
And they will not have any limitation of time bound, like you have to make a certain time period film.
So every festivals have their different rules.
Yeah.
Someone has, but the standard rule is 18 minutes, which goes for Oscars, and for Cannes is 40 minutes, and for Indian National Awards also it's 40 minutes. So this is the standard rules and regulation for doing short films. But most of the films in which film festivals where I have participated, they keep the standard duration somewhere between 25 to 30 minutes. Yeah.
But I have seen your microfilms which are 1 minute, 2 minutes, and they are thought-provoking.
Yes.
Wonderful. So can you let us and the viewers know how you can utilize and how you utilize usually the space you have, the people you have, without any necessary, you don't go to people, you don't pay people, and you don't have to find. So you use whatever you have, the resources. So can you explain that?
So I look around us, and then I look in and around me, and I do an observation, and then the limited resources which I am having with me. With the help of those limited resources, I try to come up with an idea. Because initially when I started my career, that was the only source which I was having with me. So I thought, instead of making an excuse on it, let's utilize it and let's think optimistically, and let's see what best can be produced if we have these kind of limited resources. So when I'll speak about my second film, My Chocolate Cover. So there were few kids in my apartment, and then basically what happens, lot of writers, they'll be having their own stories, and then it will be like 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, they'll be waiting to get a producer, to get a location like that, to get an actor like that. So initially when a director is starting his career, I feel that we don't have to wait and just look in and around us and then come up with a story. So according to the resources, I started writing screenplays. What best I can do is, if there's one table here, this coffee cups are here, so what story I can create here, because this is accessible.
Yeah.
And I can take my mobile camera, create some film, create some engaging content and share it on social media or submit it to film festival. So that is how I started improvising myself. I started practicing myself, and then I started utilizing all these resources which I was having with me. So basically, I started feeling resourceful. That is the correct term.
Word, yeah, definitely. So, what do you want to say to the upcoming people who are struggling for producers, who are not feeling yes, मेरे प्रोजेक्ट के लिए लोग नहीं मिल रहा है, अच्छे एक्टर्स नहीं मिल रहे, ये सब बहुत फ्रस्ट्रेट रहते हैं वो लोग, बहुत कोशिशें करते हैं, जैसा आप बोला 5-6 महीने 1 साल तक भी वेट करते रहते हैं. सो व्हाट डू यू वांट टू से इन अ वर्ड?
Action is the only one word which I would say. Take actions. Whatever the equipment, gears, tools they have, just go out there, pick your camera and shoot it out.
Yeah.
And then share it on social. Don't don't worry about the result. Don't worry what will be the outcome. Just keep on create amazing content, and then automatically the investor, producer will reach out to you.
So good, so good. So can you tell us about the few feature film projects that you have done in a little conceptual way?
So I've done a project called Mitti Back to Roots, that is on agrarian crisis in India.
Which is much needed
Yeah.
for the country actually.
Yeah. And then it's a very sensitive topic too, because a lot of politician activity happens on that topic. So I got an opportunity, we got collaborated with Center for Sustainable Agriculture. So they were my mentor when I was doing the study on why this agrarian crisis is happening. So I did almost 1 year of study on this part, and then I created that whole film. It was basically a crowd-funded film, and then we have done around 1,000 screenings of that film, and then on YouTube also it is available and reaching out to the rural areas. So I got one comment also. There was one farmer who was about to commit suicide, but this film has enlightened him, and he took the step back and he decided that he will not commit suicide. So that is what is the difference that film has created. So I've created that film in the form of infotainment, where the viewer, where the audience come to know why there is a crisis, and if they want to take an action on how to solve it, those solutions also we have given in the end of the film.
Yeah. Wonderful. So may we know the achievements, the awards, rewards, the precious, most important to you that you felt, wow, I've got this, I'm done this. So
I've received total 140 awards, includes national and internationally both. I've got over 170 plus nominations. My latest achievement is in Tehran there was one international film festival, and then we were among top 10 films from all over the world. And in Italy also I've recently won first prize for my microfilm called Freedom. That has won around 5 international awards.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you ask me which one is the best one, then obviously I will say my first international award that I got in LA.
Okay.
So that was very precious for me.
Yeah. So अंशुल, अगर हम ये बात करेंगे कि आप इतना टैलेंटेड है, इतने अवार्ड्स जीते हैं, इतना कॉन्सेप्चुअली सोचते हैं, यू कैन डू स्मॉल फिल्म्स, बिगर फिल्म्स, एवरीथिंग. सो व्हाई हैव यू नॉट stepped into that commercial space?
I have tried a lot in stepping into that commercial space, and then it's been like from last 2-3 years I'm trying it, but somewhere I don't know. My messages and emails are going, but I'm not getting an appointment from those people.
Okay, you haven't tried to go to office directly or?
I have tried it. I have tried it in Mumbai also. I've tried it in Chennai, in Hyderabad also. I've tried everywhere. I don't know. Maybe बोलते हैं ना कि जो होता है अच्छे के लिए होता है. So जब right time आएगा, I'll get an opportunity.
मैं तो ये सुनकर समझ में आई एम नॉट एबल टू एक्सेप्ट इट कि आपका जो भी शॉर्ट फिल्म्स है ये सब देख के तो आपको ही डायरेक्टर्स और एक्टर्स अप्रोच करना चाहिए नहीं? तो मे बी यू शुड डू वन स्ट्रॉन्ग कमर्शियल माइक्रो फिल्म.
या कमर्शियल फिल्म आई हैव 2-3 scripts ready with me, which I want to make it into a commercial cinema. That is also means I play very attackingly in my life. I have things ready with me. I'm just waiting for that opportunity.
Okay. So what kind of movie you wanted to do? अगर feature film करना है commercially तो?
See, commercially, to be very upfront, people have stopped going to theaters. People will only go to theater when there is some kind of festival kind of film, or there is some mass kind of film. So the content writing for the feature film has been changed. So as a director, we have to adopt the new strategy which will actually drive the audience to the theater.
Right.
So the structure has been completely changed in last 2 to 3 years. If we see KGF, if we see RRR, the structure of screenplay writing has been completely changed. The elevation is there, the heroism is there, the dynamism is there in the cinema. So those kind of screenplay will work to attract audience to theater. So that kind of strategy I have adopted, and then whatever the screenplay which I am writing, so mine is a certain process which I have adopted. So I do a deep research work. I invest a lot of time in research work, because whatever we're doing, shooting, implementing, doing camera work and whatever it is, that is just an execution. So I invest a lot of my time in the pre-production work. This is the reason why I've achieved so many awards globally. So my major time goes into research work, and then converting that research work into screenplay, because that gets an authenticity, and then originality is there in the screenplay.
Correct.
Which is very much required.
Correct.
If you see all my films, you will feel that originality is there in whatever the content I'm producing. It is not like that I've adopted something from somewhere and then adding my visualization and creating a subject out of it. So my major forte is I do research work, and then converting that research work into an entertainment film, and then investing a lot of time in the pre-visualization. So that is what I do. I do a lot of storyboarding, and I do animatics. I even go to that extent where I do the complete shoot of the film with actors, with dummy actors. So I'll call all the actors in my room, and then I'll give them the screenplay. They'll enact the full movie. So I'll just on my mobile camera, I'll shoot the full movie, and then I'll edit it, and I'll see how it is coming up, whether the scenes are dead, or will audience get excited when this scene has been screened in theater or whatever the platform it is. So I go to that level of preps. So I've added a lot of filters, because what is happening these days, the competition has gone global. Once your film is on Amazon Prime or on Netflix or any other digital platform, the competition is going global now. So we have to compete with global directors.
Right.
And then the investors or the producers, those are investing in these projects. So the stakes are very high. So as a director, I have to take that responsibility. And then this is the reason why it takes so much of precaution. Yes, I agree that it's easy to make films now, because cameras, lights, equipments are easily accessible. But that doesn't mean that the efforts which is required to do pre-production. Because what happens these days, lot of filmmakers, they ignore that part. Because someone will feel that, okay, I have a content, they'll directly jump into the production and then post-production. Right. And then once the film is released, and then when they see it on big screen, then they realize where the mistakes have gone. So that I don't want to do. The reason this polishness has came to me is because I have participated in so many film festivals. I have lost so many. If I have won 140 awards, then I have participated in over 600, 700 plus film festivals. So I've got exposure to international cinema also. So after losing those film festivals and then observing my own work, why it is not winning, why it is not getting award, this is the reason why I've added so much of filters in my pre-production part.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, Anshul, can I ask this? Like, what is your shortest making film, and what movie that took you the longest period?
My shortest one was My Chocolate Car, my second project. It took me only like 2 days to make that film.
Okay.
I made it with just 500 rupees. I got 25 awards for
Wonderful.
that. And longest would be Mitti Back to Roots. I've invested 2 years in making that project, because farmer issue is very critical and sensitive. And as a filmmaker, if that opportunity has came to me, then I took that complete responsibility that if this should be the last film, if anyone in India wants to know about agrarian crisis, they can watch Mitti Back to Roots and they'll understand the summary of why this crisis is happening in our country. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. So do you find solution, do you give solution kind of a thing also, message or solutions?
So what I do, I collaborate with visionary leaders, and like in Mitti, I got collaborated with Mr. G.V. Ramanjanuru. He's already working on solving the crisis. So instead of adding new solutions and all, there are already people out there who is working from past many years. So as a filmmaker, I convert their vision into cinema or into films. So basically, whatever the solution, it's impossible for them to communicate their vision to a lot of people.
Right.
So we convert their vision into the form of cinema, and then it reaches out to the audience. So they get to know, okay, there is a crisis and how it can be solved. So this becomes a holistic film where the problem is also shown, the solution is also shown in an infotainment format. So holistically, everything gets covered because audience shouldn't get bored when they are watching documentary films. Like my career started with documentary films. So people used to feel bored when they are watching film.
Yeah.
Then I started converting into fiction films so that it can get connected to the audience. Audience won't be feeling bored, and then they'll come to know what they are watching.
Yeah. So being in this journey, may I ask what is the lowest point to you? Have you ever thought of why am I here?
Yeah, like when I was doing Gateway to Heaven, I was not having investors and producers. So I took a night shift job in multinational company. Whole night I was working, and in the daytime I was doing these films and all. So that was like most challenging period of my life, where I have to pull in the money and then make a film, and then I know that this kind of film will never get a release. But as a filmmaker, I wanted that this is something I should give back, because at that time I won around 85-90 awards I have achieved so far. So I thought let me use this talent for the society. So that crazy thought I got. So that was a tough phase where I was doing night shift job and then parallelly doing films. That was very, very challenging.
So what made you go through that and uplift yourself?
As I said, I wanted to live the life to the fullest. So the morning when I am opening my eyes and then sleeping, so each and every minute I want to live it to the fullest. I want to make it count for myself. Didn't want it to end up just like that.
Yeah.
So that drives me.
Right.
Drives me.
I'm not comparing or something like that. There was this film probably of 7-8 months back came. I think Amitabh Bachchan. There was a sports one, no? Do you remember?
Where he goes for trekking and all.
No. Jhund, right.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm interviewing that person, the director. Okay, sorry, I just went there. Okay. So coming to this, Anshul, definitely as a director you must be having some hero. इसके साथ ऐसे मूवी बनाना है, ऐसा कोई तो ड्रीम क्या होगा आपने? क्या मैं पूछ सकती हूँ? चलो नेशनल हो या इंटरनेशनल हो, कोई तो हीरो होगा आप काम करना चाहते हैं, या हमारे हीरोज में किसी के साथ कुछ अच्छा कॉन्सेप्ट आपने सोच के रखा है?
Recently I wrote a film. You must have heard about Vande Bharat Express.
हाँ.
Train 18.
हाँ.
So I've done I've done 2 to 3 months of study on that how that train was built. So I personally went to the maker of that project, Mr. Sudhanshu Mani. He is the main designer of that train. So at the age of around 64 or 65, where usually people give up at that age, he came forward. He has designed that whole train, and then he took only 12 months to make that whole project. So I wanted to make a biopic on his life. So I was trying to approach Anil Kapoor for that project since 1.5 years. So
definitely, yeah. You should do such kind of projects, and let's see when
So that screenplay has been completely ready, and then since 1.5 years, I'm just trying to approach Anil Kapoor so that I can do that project with.
क्यों आप किसी और के साथ नहीं करना चाहते?
Because that biopic, the aura of Mr. Sudhanshu Mani matches with Anil Kapoor.
Anil Kapoor, yeah, the
So that-
youngest
yeah.
soul.
The character description matches with him. The Anil Kapoor has a bass voice, and when Anil Kapoor speaks dialogues on the screen, the audience get connected to him. When he cries or when he shouts, when he expresses himself, the masses gets connected to him. This is the reason why I wanted to do that project with him.
हाँ, मैं तो पूरी सच्ची दिल से चाहती हूँ कि आप करना चाहिए ये प्रोजेक्ट, सच में ट्रू होना चाहिए. So apart from that, what are your future plans?
So I'm doing a lot of microfilms as of now. So far, my target is to do at least 10 to 20 microfilms on a every monthly basis. I'm connecting with a lot of authors. I'm connecting with a lot of writers, book publishing houses, and helping them to convert their content into short microfilms. This is in huge demand because the upcoming competition is how crisp you can be, and how in a very short duration you can communicate your message.
Correct.
So I've been practicing on this from 6 to 7 years, and then that has polished now. And then you can give me any content now. You can give me any subject. I can come up with a short concept oriented film. And then the best thing which I have adopted is I am doing it in a cinematic manner. It is not like that. It is not like a traditional kind of short film. It's very cinematic. It gives you the exact feel of a feature film. So that is what is the new thing I am bringing in this short film content, which makes me different from other people. Yeah. This is the reason why it is getting clicked at international film festivals also.
Wonderful, wonderful. So ऐसे बात करते करते बहुत information है, and there's a lot of excitement to me also to know much more. Definitely we'll talk about it later also. But I wanted to ask you last one question, which is like, to your creativity, like people have different aspects and different levels of creativity. So what is that point where you get the ideas? For example, Enrique sits in one separate room to write. Some others do something else. Taylor Swift think that she have a magical room where she can get all these songs and all. So what is your creativity bombardment happens?
No, it is not like that. See, it's a structure, and structure can be learned by anyone. A lot of people say that, okay, I get idea like this. No, it is not at all like that. If you study the screenplay, if you do your proper homework, then if you learn the structure, then anyone can become a filmmaker. It can be learned. So we have to learn it, and then we can make it. I have also heard a lot of these things. Like a lot of people say that you should smoke, or when you are writing emotional thing, you should drink. Then you will go into that level, and then those kind of fantasy scenes you will get. I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
See, filmmaking is associated to psychology. So if psychology can be learned, and then if the proper information can be gathered, then you can become a writer. You have to learn the structure. So the basics should be good.
Yes.
It is not like that you need thousands or crores of rupees to make a film. Just with 10 rupees, 15 rupees, or very short, zero budget also, you can pick a camera and make a film. I made during the COVID, I made a film with spoons and spokes. So I was completely in the lockdown, and a lot of people said that next 2 or 3 months there is no future for filmmakers. So I was having spoons and forks. I made a film with steel spoon, and I made a stop motion animation film of it. Okay. I got a national award for that. 1,50,000 rupees I won.
Wow.
In that national award.
So wonderful. यूजुअली हम किसी से भी बात करते हैं, हम समझते हैं. आपसे बात करने के बाद समझने से ऊपर और क्वेश्चंस आ रहा है. सो डेफिनेटली विल हैव मोर टॉक लेटर, बट टुडे so many people who have seen this interview might have had a thought shifting provoking thing like that. Even me too, experiencing that. So thank you so much for coming and giving your insights about filmmaking and all, and definitely we wish you all the best
Thank you
for
so
the future projects, and definitely meet Anil Kapoor soon and make the biopic. So all the best.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.